Frank Lang, hoi hoi everybody. Well, the teaching career, I wanted to be an architect. My maths was, so I thought I could do drafting because you don't need quite the expertise. I ended up teaching art, and in those days what was available was a design. Environmental design was this new thing. So I was a school teacher 76 to 79 at Taparoo High, which was the school that I was a student at. There was this guitar, and I was maybe 8, 9, and can I, so I just made noise on it, and I was hooked, just absolutely, so I could remember the moment it happened. And from then on I had a run of all sorts of different cheap instruments and all that sort of thing, and used to record off the television, and so I didn't have any guidance because my parents didn't quite wake up to the fact that I was hooked on something musical, anything musical. Lester Volquist was a geography teacher at Taparoo High, but he had lunchtime lessons and taught us 3 basic chords, and that was it. I was underway with a bit of instruction, hoi hoi. And I thought to myself, now if I learn to sing, in all the bands I was in, I'd sing 1 or 2 songs. The singer wants a break. So I'd do 1 or 2 songs, and I thought, stuff this, I rang up a couple of people that I knew, $100 a night. We play almost all the songs that I want to do, and I'll get the gigs. In other words, I do all the work, I book everything, bring the sound system. It wasn't hard to get people on board, and we used to get 1, 2, 3 gigs a week sometimes. I got to jam with George Thorogood at Wings, that was exciting. Other players, obviously Chris Finnan, David Blight. I was in a band called The Flyers with John Freeman, who was the drummer in Fraternity. A little secret, and I didn't tell you this, when I was a teacher at Taparoo, lunchtime, Frank, going to lunch. Where are we going? Down to the pier, Southwark sandwich, schnitzel, back to school, 3 schooners down, right? It was always good. And then after school, so I knew the place, and you could always hear the bands firing up or doing a sound check next door. Or you could see Rose Tattoo walk through with their purple hair and, tattoos and all that sort of. So that room there was iconic. First band I saw down here was Fraternity with Bon Scott on a Sunday afternoon at I think it was called the Gunya Bar, and those days you had to have a slice of salami to get in. That was considered a meal, licensing act, but they played here, and there I was, I think 18, watching some of the best bands, and then the really big bands came through, and it was fantastic. Saw Split Ends in there, saw you name it, Renee Gayer, Jeff Duff Orchestra, Chisel, Fraternity 2, which was meant to be Bon Scott singing and John Freeman on the drums, ended up with Swanee on the drums and 18-year-old Jimmy Barnes. The Mayor of Semaphore. I just keep raving about the beautiful place. I mean, I'm looking at the bay as we speak, and on a day like today, you've just got all the white dots out there, all the fishermen, and it's not too bad. The weather's great. This sort of day that people would be sitting on the veranda of the pier, waiting for the night to come on so they could get into a good time, listening to the band and be halfway there before they got there. Talk about what do they call it, pre-filling these days. They knew how to do it. I could never keep up. This is a beautiful place, the Peninsula. It's eclectic. Millionaires this side, poor people that side. Industry there, smoke, cement, still a beautiful place. It's very hard work. Like I said, if it looked easy, the job's done, but the fact of the matter is to make it look easy was very, very hard work. So, people clapped at the end, and that's very good. That's what you work for, that's what you play for.